Okay, I wanted to go over the process for comparing the next step schedule to the Raintree schedule, and then going into each one of these patient files and making sure that any missing information is filled out. So if I go to, and this is in the training site here, so if I go to the scheduler here, I'm looking at a day, and I put some patients, I just put some visits in here on this day on the 27th, but what you want to start doing when you're screening through these is start with December 2nd and start screening through them from there. So, and in the actual site you'll have the patient's names appearing here. So the first step is probably the easiest way, is to either use the next step scheduler to print out each PT's schedule for December, so you can have it on paper right there next to you to compare to the Raintree scheduler, or you can have the laptop next to you, one of the Acer laptops with the next step scheduler up, and you just compare them side by side to see if there's any missing patients there that you need to then schedule on the Raintree scheduler. So the next thing would be going into each patient's file. So if I go into this patient's file and right click to go to patient file, and matches pops up there. So the first thing is looking at the patient demographic sheet. So first name and last name, the address is there. Scrolling down, location. So say I'm working with the Rochester Clinic. I want to pick the Rochester Clinic there for location, and the referral source looks like didn't come over either. So I've got to go in here and select the doctor in that case. Okay, and then that looks good. So F10 to save out of there, and then going into the chart. So this one has had a few things done with it, but if we look at, say, this first case, the first thing I notice is the case name still says physical therapy, so I gotta back that out, and it looks like it's an elbow patient, so I put in the body part right there, and then scrolling down here, okay, it looks like actually there was a referring physician in there as Dr. Maltese. So if we look at this, so there's some details missing. It gives the range, but we don't have the visits and the number of weeks here, so that would be filled in. Okay, and then F10. Back out of here, and then let's look at the insurance. So it looks like the primary insurance is Cigna. That's filled in. We would want to make sure that any the group subscriber ID and group ID were in here. Okay, and then let's save here, and then the patient pay, that has been set up there too, so that looks good. One other thing we can do is you can look at the appointment history to see what the person has set up, which is a quick way to scan through that and compare it to the next step schedule as well. So then let's look at this next one here. Looks like a new patient here. Look at the patient demographics page. Jane Smith, name is in there, needs the birthday. Okay, the address, phone numbers look good. Looks like the Rochester Clinic is selected, the doctor's in there. F10, save out of that. And then let's look at insurance. So I think it's commercial insurance. This information would need to be filled in. A lot of the commercial ones you would probably want to have, when you request the verifications like we went over before, I probably need to leave Becca their phone number too, so she can have a good way to get a hold of them. And then patient pay, looks like this has been set up, so the name's in here. If it wasn't, you just would hit this and then hit enter. Okay, to put that in there. Okay. So that's the kind of the idea, is going through and looking at the patient demographics, the chart. Biggest thing with the chart probably is getting the cases set up properly with case name in there and the location. The rendering location would be the location of the clinics. The most important place to put that in is on the patient demographics page, the first page. So that's how you go through and look at all those three areas to make sure that everything is ready to go.